The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
The latest is the United States has shot down at least 4 Iranian attack drones and also some missile sites where they say that there were some firings by Iranian forces against the U.S. So much for a ceasefire being in place. And meantime, you've got the Iranian, quote, supreme leader, and I call him in quotes because we don't even know if the guy's alive. We have no idea if he's the real deal or if he's just a fiction of their imagination because he has never spoken. We have never seen him. And he's coming out and essentially declaring all-out activities against America will be in full force and that they shouldn't think of any bases in the Middle East. I mean, the rhetoric is really ratcheting up. The question is, where is this going? And everybody's wondering, what's the timetable, especially with the midterms now just a few months away? And clearly, President Trump is on a roll. My goodness, great news. Last night, we were all going through it together when the results were coming in. And Ken Paxton handily wins the U.S. Senate race for the Republican primary there in Texas, 2-1. That's called a trouncing. And President Trump, he's back, get this, in the 2026 cycle. It's 118 different candidates, and he has 118-0 now. So I'd say that's a pretty good track record. Pretty good, maybe even better than the Knicks, even though they're doing really well. I'm still betting on the Knicks, you guys. I have a lot of friends who are talking about the Oklahoma Thunders, and I'm like, no. Don't say that. That is a swear word around here, but we'll see where it goes. By the way, President Trump also talking very much about attending the Knicks game. How cool would that be? He said he'd like to be there for at least one of the big games next week. So we'll see what happens there. In the meantime, of course, all eyes on Iran. And President Trump, I love, the fact he does a cabinet meeting today. And he answered more questions in the Signal cabinet meeting than I think Joe Biden did in his whole term. And President Trump talked about a variety of things, from the recent assassination attempts against him, the ICE facility in New Jersey. We're going to definitely get to that because there are reports that some of the protesters were now spraying chemicals on agents. That's not allowed. That's a crime. I hope they throw the book at those people. And why are Democrats still out there protesting on behalf of these illegal criminal migrants, some of them with the worst of the worst track record? I can't believe it. When you hear the details of this, these people are murderers, rapists, pedophiles, and they're still out there protesting every day like they've got Mother Teresa inside. Boy, they need to wake up. And in the meantime, President Trump obviously answering a lot of questions about Iran. And the press was saying to him, are you worried? The midterms are right around the corner. Not right, but, a few months away now. And are you concerned about the price of gas? Obviously, gas is high. We're heading into now the summer months, and it makes it more difficult on the average American family. But President Trump said, you know what? Yeah, I obviously care about the American family, but I also care about world peace. And I love the fact that he is just sticking it to Iran. He said, essentially that they thought that they could kind of drag this out and that they could beat me in the waiting game. Well, surprise, surprise, I will outwait them. Take a listen to this. This is what President Trump had to say in his cabinet meeting just a few hours ago.
Economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outwait me. We'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms.
That's a prelude to the midterms. They thought they could outweight me. He gets the game. He understands what's going on. They're hoping, okay, they can drag it out and thinking, okay, if they get near the midterms closer and closer, then President Trump is not going to want to do some sort of strike or any sort of disruption even more with the oil markets and gas prices and everything else. And he basically said, you know what, it's apples and oranges. Yeah, I care about the midterms, but I also will make sure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. And he also was so powerful today. All I kept thinking about is what a contrast that is to Joe Biden, you guys. If Joe Biden was in the office right now, you'd be going, pray for America with the Iranian regime. And yet President Trump said, I have no doubt, he said, that they were inches away from a nuclear weapon. And he said if they had it, they would use it. Listen to this chilling comment from President Trump.
Regardless of anything, as Marco said better than anybody can say it, you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. They would use it instantly. They wouldn't think about it. They would use it instantly. I've gotten to know them. They would use it instantly.
They would use it instantly.